a game key now is going to be able to get started in Endgame. And like Jeannie was saying earlier, even if your item is staked, you will still be able to get your first, let's just call it your first, the first iteration of your NFT, because there's going to be one NFT that everybody mints, but then as the game starts being played, some people are going to get way ahead a lot faster, and some people may die. And I think that's going to be, you talk about risk factor, game over is, I mean, that can be, there's going to be a lot of potential stakes. Now, simultaneously, we're going to also, give you opportunities to get back in the game. And those mechanics are going to revolve around an end token that we're gonna be launching in conjunction with Endgame. That will be the in-game currency for everything Endgame related. You'll be able to earn End token in the game. You'll lose End token in the game. You'll need to buy things to get yourself back into the game. And as you can imagine, when you think about this stuff for 4 months, you can start to conjure up, especially, with like Beanie involved and talking with him, you can start to conjure up like these crazy tokenomics that are just both really exciting, really risky, and also really, really rewarding. And so you get your game key pass, you'll be able to get in, even if it's staked. I will say though, that there is going to be situations in Endgame where, let's just call it like a battle. Okay, so you're in Endgame, you've leveled up, you've earned certain badges, you're like, your game key is looking hot, right? You haven't lost any lives, and you go in, and there will be a battle or an event or a thing that you're going to need to do, and you may need your game key. And there's definitely going to be times. I mean, I haven't, we're trying to figure out exactly when this is going to happen, but you can expect that in our Endgame world, we're going to expect you to be holding a game key in your wallet. So if you have it staked with 420 game, chances are you're not going to want to unstake that. You're definitely going to want to potentially have at least 2 game keys at all time, because we think that it's really important, being part of the Look Labs family, that we integrate that game key into Endgame. And it may be something where you only need the Endgame, you only need the game key in Endgame for a day, and you don't have to stake it with us. You can move it back to the 420 game, but that's going to cause you as a player in both 420 game and Endgame, you're going to have to make some decisions, especially if you only have one. And so I anticipate there's going to be pressure on acquiring those game keys, because I've seen some of the things that Jeannie has planned for 420, and I think you guys are going to love it. And I know that the things that we have planned with, the Marvel people we've talked to and Beanie and, getting Jeannie's input, you guys are going to want to be a part of this too. And so I would, if there was one alpha that I would drop, I would say you probably want to have more than one game key, if you're planning on playing both. So keep that in mind. Let's see. There was a bunch of other questions in the Discord last night. Yeah, so somebody last night asked about like the battles and how that's going to work. When we first started thinking about this, somebody brought up the idea of, you're at like a basketball game, and I don't know if you guys have ever done this. You go to like a sports game, and then up on the big board, there's like the roar monitor. So like the louder the crowd screams, you get like the thermometer will go up, or the arrow or something. And so we really love that. And I think that, you're gonna have events in Endgame with your, call it your character. Um, and there's going to be certain things that is just kind of on you to do, but there is going to be other events and battles that are going to require you to work together, to assemble it, essentially. Or it may not work out well for you if you haven't assembled a strong enough team in order to, I'm trying to be very careful with my words because we have like a lot of exciting things, but like you have to assemble your team in order to, you know, meet the goal or win the thing. So anyway, I think you guys are gonna love it. I'm super excited. I'm really curious to hear, in the audience of like what people think of the character so far. I mean, we've been really flattered with, the likes and the comments and all these iterations of the characters we've started to introduce. We have a lot more to introduce. But I'd love people's like feedback or questions or, you know, on what they like to see in characters, because we definitely have a few character spots that are kind of, they're a few months out, but we're tweaking with, who that could be and how that could look. So I'd love to get, if anybody has something they'd like to see, I'd love to hear about it. Let's see. Jeannie, do you have anything more on that, or did I hit everything that people would want to hear?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the game key. It's like it's really cool asset because you can play all the Loot Labs games and the end game. If you have like a special transformation. Uh, I mean, the game key, it will be like the essence of the Loot Labs. It will give you like all the means. If you stake it in one game, you're gonna have the access to the means of this game. If you have to stake it into the end game, you can actually mint like all the things that are coming from the end game. So I think it's clear. I mean, it's like the core of Loot Labs more or less, just owning them. I just want to share one thing. It's about the OG passes that they will also have like a very big utility between the games. So it's like
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so I was, yeah. A lot of the people I was talking to last night were the OGs, but yeah, I mean OGs are going to, in certain aspects of the games, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage, but everybody that's playing is all going to be on the same field, right? So it's all in the same arena or whatever. But OGs having that OG pass is going to, give you maybe a cheat code or two, maybe more, maybe 3 or 4 cheat codes. So yeah, I'm really excited about that too, that piece. But okay, let's get some questions up here. So we got
just one more point about the
oh
game
yeah.
keys. Like the end game keys, they'll have like a different art, more or less, like connected to the end game. So they will just have like a transformation as well. When it's staked into the end game, we actually plan to update the metadata with a different artwork. So just for like experience based, nothing more. But I think it will be fun just to know which game you're playing, which game key is staked to which game, for example, and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, having this, this NFT that has this technology, this I'm sorry, the mnemonic technology where
Mnemonic, yeah, yeah,
yeah, mnemonic,
exactly.
yeah, it can adjust on the fly. It's just it, a lot of people think, oh, it has its limitations because it's just the one, but actually it provides so much opportunity to create this real gaming experience on the blockchain. So I don't know, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for everybody to see it. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
like the other project, for example, like you saw the Doodles drop, where they're wrapping one NFT to other. I mean, this is actually there was a super nice article. I always refer to it. I'll share it around. But I mean, this is not the way. I mean, just wrapping NFTs like it's like that technology, right? Why you do that if you can have like a mnemonic, like metadata that you can make so much more of it, and even connect it and update it in a real time during the game. And this is something that we are aiming for, that the metadata can change based on your game progress. So it will have like a different layers. It's the next level. I think it's the next level. It's the first project that is implementing it. I never seen one so far. Maybe there are others one that are working on it, but I think it's a real game changer, especially how the entire NFT space is going to work and look alike if they
Yeah,
start implementing this technology.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, some of the things that we've thought of, I definitely anticipate people trying to copy or reproduce some of the things that we have planned and that we're going to launch. And so, man, I would love to get into the specifics of like how some of these, you know, um, spots in the game are going to work, but we have to just not do that. So I hope everybody understands on that. But I think you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be so fun. I mean, I'm like, I put this thing together and we're we're like planning out, and I can't wait to start playing. So anyway, I'm really pumped. But yeah, itching to say more. Yes, that's exactly it. Does anybody have any questions, or does anybody have any like character ideas for a couple of these spots that we have open? I'd love to, I'd love to get people's thoughts on like the characters so far. I mean, you read the comments and everybody's super excited.
How many spots you have like opened right now for characters? Do you have like a number
No, I
that
mean,
you can feel?
I would say like, like I said, um, we're trying to keep a solid roadmap out. So we're like in our planning process, we're probably, a month. We could probably make some changes at the 9-month mark, but after that, there's definitely more openings. I mean, and you kind of see this in some of the the bigger studios like Marvel and DC. I mean, they'll have it's like they keep introducing new characters over time, and so I don't really think that there's going to be like a we have like a hard cap. I mean, if somebody came up with something that was really interesting or like a really funny or cool character, I mean, I'm sure we could figure out how to work them in. But um,
Can we have something like a contest, for example, like people just submitting ideas and just having like a
yeah,
fun contest about these characters?
yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I mean that actually leads me to something else I forgot to talk about is if you have a green key, you're definitely getting in. If you have an OG pass, you're absolutely getting in. And then we're going to have like some some whitelist spots available. I would say that the total collection count is probably going to be between 13 and 15,000, and a lot of that number, will be based on, some of the whitelist activities that we have planned. We definitely have with people having their NFT, NFTs dying and people losing their, we're going to probably call them civilians. So you got the majority of people are civilians, and then you have a very small, rare set of heroes and villains. And your civilian may die. You'll be able to bring them back to life, but you may also potentially have the opportunity to, if you're playing the game effectively, if you're assembling large, groups of people,